Hey snowmobilers, look where I am. I got my Arctic Cat jacket on, my Arctic Cat hat on. What am I doing here? Let's find out. You're getting the idea of what I did. Before I pull the cover off, let me give you one more little sneak peek, and then we're going to get into it. That's right. After spending all that time in Wyoming on these new snowmobiles, I had to do it. You know, I've said quite a bit on YouTube about the new Catalyst. Other people have said quite a bit. Arctic Cat has put out some really good detailed videos on it. But let me take you around and let's as Vice Grip Garage would say, let's drink it in. Let's just check it out. Let's talk a little bit about this in further detail. Obviously, you can see it says first edition there. This is a 600, and really, after spending the last 3 years on an 800, I don't need an 800. A lot of guys are going to say, "Yep, can't do anything less than an 800." But I really have not found a need for that, extra 40 horsepower. I thought I might, but I really don't. One of the things I like about this is the ski spindles are really cool looking. The skis are, as I understand, are pretty much the same as last year for the Procross. Somebody pointed out that one of the things that Arctic Cat did, and looking at this is pretty cool. So there's this little lip here. So the side panel, the seam is right here. And one of the things that, that they've done is they've put a little extra kind of guard here so that sticks and other stuff can't get in there, wedge in there and peel the cover off. That's a really neat thing to do. Here's the intake for the engine, and that intake then comes down the hood to the front and then in that way, because the engine is laid down, the exhaust and the intake are on the same side on the Arctic Cat engines. There's no trunk. You don't get a trunk with this. This little fastener here is to take the seat off. One of the great things about the way that they did these seats is the seat comes off with this. There's no tools needed. You just turn that fastener, seat comes right off. You can jump start the snowmobile if you want to use the battery and the battery's dead. All that stuff. The attach accessories are in this little thing here. The heat exchanger obviously is right here. And when I was watching them at the factory, I don't know if you can tell this or not, but it really does run, the heat exchanger runs the entire length of the tunnel. And that is really cool. My Riot, my 21 Riot, has basically just plumbing running back to the heat exchanger that's back here. And the ice tends to build up underneath in the back. And believe it or not, on the coldest days, my Riot will overheat, which is weird. Covered in ice, it actually overheats. There are only 3 wheels back here for the regular ZRs. The RXCs get 4. Here's the coupler blocks for the coupled rear suspension. On this snow flap, here's another improvement that I noticed. The snow flap has extra rivets on the sides here. Now, my Riot only has fasteners back here, and what happens to the Riot is when I back up, snow will catch on this and the whole flap will come up underneath. It's a royal pain in the butt because the flap will get tucked under the track. Let's hop up here for a second. The switches on the catalyst, and I mentioned this in one of my ride review videos, this is the same as all other years, and to me I'm kind of bummed out about that. I think that there's some room for improvement here with the switches, and I would like to see Arctic Cat make improvements on that. I can see why they kind of hold on to these, but the problem is that when you're especially in the dark, to try to adjust, or if you're moving for some reason, it's really difficult for me to make changes. I have to stop. These buttons are not lighted and they're not color coded, so it's, you know, like I said, in the dark you can't see them. You have to feel them, and you can't feel them because they aren't unique enough. Yeah, I'd prefer that they change that. Maybe they will in the near future. This area of the snowmobile though is really cool as well. We've got the RCA jack for the helmet right down here. It's not over here. It's not, I guess on my Riot it's down in here, but they've got this built in already. The tether and the key are all right here. They're really in an easy spot to get to. They're out of the way, so you're not going to bump into them. You're not going to have to reach over them. They're really in a good spot. Very, very nicely done there. And where the gas tank is, it's very minimalistic. This thing is just light years ahead of the Procross. Arctic Cat really has done a good job with the Catalyst, and I'm really happy to be one of the first owners of a Catalyst. I get the sport gauge on this because I don't have the ATAC shocks, the electronically adjustable shocks, which is fine. This is an okay gauge. I'm really anxious to see what the new GPS, the color gauge, is going to look like. I did see it at Heydays, but I'm really excited about that. I think, and the fact that it can be retrofitted, you might be seeing the GPS gauge on this snowmobile next year. I'm really thinking heavily about it. This thing is pretty cool. I like that it's a solid lid on here, and there is a 12-volt jack in here for charging things or whatever you want to do there. That's available. Pretty darn cool. At this point of the video, I was going to show you how easy it is to take the panels off, and I realized that Ben from Arctic Cat has already done a really good job of explaining how to do that. His video is a lot better than mine turned out to be, so I'm going to link that above. Give that a watch. I'm going to be putting a new windshield on this. One of the comments made when I picked this up was, "How come you don't have a windshield?" And I said, I do have a windshield. I don't know if you noticed, but this is the windshield right here. So that's going to get swapped out for a new windshield. Instead of making a video on that, I think Arctic Insider actually made a really good little summary video of what you're supposed to do there, and I will be linking that here. It's a short video. If you're looking to change the windshield, I suggest his video. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited to try this out. We've got a little bit of snow here, but not nearly enough to ride on. Thanks again for watching, and I hope I see you on the trail.